I'd first like to welcome to the stage Athena Lam from Oursky. She's worked in impact investment, social innovation, and LGBT communities around the Asia-Pacific region. She's one of the co-founders of TEDx Youth in Hong Kong, and she's going to be presenting on the Oursky idea. Thanks very much, Anthea.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So, after lunch, I have a request. Can everyone please grab your yes/no card from the table? I'm going to start with a few questions, and no one's allowed to put down their hands until I'm done. So, does your office have gender-neutral washrooms? Ooh, that's a lot of whites. Okay, we'll get better at this. Benefits for same-sex partners? Great. All right, this one should be easy. At least one out colleague. Good, we're all winners. So, last question. Do you know other companies who have this? Wonderful. So I asked a similar question to my colleagues at Oursky. Which other tech companies in Hong Kong are LGBTQ-friendly? And the thing was, we actually could not come up with a list. Even though during dinners or lunches, we had many queer friends who were happily employed and telling us great stories about their company. Why were they not visible? And so we realized we, as a tech company in Hong Kong, were part of this problem. Because Oursky has grown from 3 people to a company with over 50 employees with an office in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And over the years, we've incorporated LGBTQ staff as our team members. But no one knew about this. And so we asked, what could we do? Well, firstly, we could look at ourselves. So let me give you a few stats. Oursky has 2 out colleagues, 4 non-out colleagues, 0 trans colleagues, 2 partners as active allies, another 7 active allies, and 16 passive supporters. Of course, there's work to be done in these numbers. But overall, this paints a pretty positive picture. So we asked ourselves, could we share this in the same way that we so freely share Oursky's daily life on Facebook? So we asked, could we, instead of just having an internal list for ourselves, we could create a public directory that everyone can benefit from. And when we're thinking about directories, what do we want? We want tags for relevant information, for us to find things. And once we've found a listing, where do we go first? Straight to the reviews. Because what other people say matters. And other people's experiences will probably tell us what our own will be like. So taking this idea of a directory, we tried a prototype. We created a website, which is actually a simple Google form that collects individual data and puts it into a public directory for everyone to access. This is a live link with over 20 companies already. So if you were to go to the link now, what you could do as an LGBTQ staff member is anonymously recommend your company. Your personal information is kept private, but the company that you're recommending is being shared with the community. Your entry is updated in real time, where you can screen based on industry, company size, or relevant policies to you. And of course, you can share it with friends. So we did this because we wanted individuals to be able to get answers to the questions that mattered to them most. And that's over 475,000 LGBTQ staff in Hong Kong. But what's in it for companies? For companies, company policies are just the tip of the iceberg. What's actually happening below the surface? What's the actual company culture? And how big is that iceberg? This directory provides data as touch points because staff are reporting the highlights that they enjoy about your company whether it's official or non-official. And as a result, you can use this as a quick internal health check. And you can also use this directory to attract talent. So you can get a better picture of this iceberg below the surface by creating a simple employee feedback loop, because it's employees who are recommending for this directory. And through their recommendations, they're able to help advocate for you and attract more talent. And so it's not 475,000 LGBTQ individuals. It's over 3.8 million people who are already working in Hong Kong. Because inclusive companies are not just about LGBTQ individuals. As mentioned earlier, it's not just about LGBTQ rights, it's about human rights. And so it's individuals who can create inclusion at companies. So we originally threw this idea out there, and we wanted to see where it would land in Oursky's big pool of side project ideas. And this idea kept on going. So here are the next 3 things we're going to work on: reach, replication, and sustainability. By reach, I mean reaching organizations where they're at. And in Hong Kong, that means that we will have to translate this website into Chinese to reach local organizations. At the same time, we are going to have to manually add these organizations and verify them in order to curate a quality core directory. Next, we can actually give this away. We can open source it because it's just a Google form. And so anyone, whether they're in Taipei or in Tokyo, can adopt this. And finally, a project needs to be sustainable. So we're also taking a cue from the tech industry, which is already creating job boards for niche markets. And companies are paying to access these markets. For example, remote workers, women in tech. Companies want to have these people in their teams to increase diversity and inclusion. And it's the same for LGBTQ staff members. But this project isn't just about scaling for scaling's sake. It originally started as a project about visibility. Sorry. And so instead of just thinking about whether it's for individuals or for a big company, it's actually both the global brand as well as a small SME that can participate, because it's individuals who will contribute here. And so this original directory was the answer to our question, what can we do now? How can we celebrate the successes that are already happening in our daily lives? This directory allows us, as LGBTQ individuals, to define what it means to feel safe and included. And whether there are company policies in place or not, it's individuals who can create inclusive cultures. Companies with inclusive cultures like yours not only need to be visible, they need to be acknowledged by their staff. And by acknowledging them on this directory, we're not only envisioning a better tomorrow, we are already building and seeing a better today. At this point, I need to thank my team members, Ten, May, and Kai, who have been amazing allies in this project, as well as the many other staff members at Oursky who have made this presentation possible. And of course, if you have any other companies, big or small, to recommend, please kindly contribute to the project. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Athena. We do have time to take one question or comment for each presentation. Does anybody have any suggestions or any thoughts or any challenges about the business idea that Athena has presented to us today? One down the front. The question is there a moderation check on the Google form or for the product?
Very good question. So one of the reasons that we're starting manually is because we need to make sure that every entry is authentic, that there is an LGBTQ staff member. And from a scaling perspective, of course, a Google form is not going to allow for thousands of entries. By the time we hit a critical mass, we're going to actually have to redo the whole directory. Yeah, good question.
Great. Thanks very much, Athena, for the great presentation.